Yo, Top, I know you hear that steady going off on your hip. Man, won't you catch that and call us back?
Man, that's Tamika, man. I'm still trying to get rid of that broad.
Man, I met a Tamika about 2 summers ago. 2 years ago, I met Tamika, I think the middle of July. I can't lie, the first time I saw her, she was looking fly. Matter of fact, I would get some guards, she was too. I kept playing ass girl, say, what you about to do? Went to the counter, paid ass 5D, she started looking funny. Didn't pay no mind, I said, I got you, and pulled out my money. Step back outside, we conversating, I'm checking out little mama. Had a session at the studio, so I got Tamika's number. 2 months passed, I called on the Tuesday, 2:30 on the cool. T. Jones answered, said Tamika has made home from school. School. Ma'am, if you don't mind me asking, how old is your daughter?
Met baby girl in the projects, it was summertime. Daisy Dukes with a halter top. Duke your brace talking DUI. Knuckle down, I'm pulling over to the curb. I asked how old she was, she said I was grown. I said word, proceed with ego feed. Quoting lyrics from my people, talking about the millennium sold out Cadillacs and Regals. Her whole conversation was about the lick. Say she from the city where we from, she want to represent. Licking her lips, and for a sip, smoking black and mild. Looking at her thigh, she pointed out, tatted stepchild. You with that? Represent that. Careful what you ask for, these streets ain't playing. You hit corners with a grown ass man.
Tamika started fast, but finally slowed up. Thought she was grown, cause her chest and butt was swole up.
Careful what you ask for, these streets ain't playing. You hit corners with a grown ass man.
Tamika started fast, but finally slowed up. Thought she was grown, cause her chest and butt was swole up.
She'll get caught up in a cycle, hollering at a pimp. Her mama standing in the door, signaling, come here. Sundress, had done in cornrows, contacts make her look Creole. She said she done look Benny hair once or twice before. I recognized her face, she said I dance, I know. I told him, come on, both of them, let's go. Tamika, look.
People think Tamika tripping now, cause Tamika stripping now. But Tamika ain't crazy now, Tamika got a little baby now. She learned too much early, everybody know what Tamika. When she was 15, her mother was 30, everybody know what Tamika. I ain't mad at you, just be careful and do what you do. Tamika, take care of that hard-headed son and get your revenue.
Careful what you ask for, these streets ain't playing. You hit corners with a grown ass man.
Tamika started fast, but finally slowed up. Thought she was grown, cause her chest and butt was swole up.
Careful what you ask for, these streets ain't playing. You hit corners with a grown ass man.
Tamika started fast, but finally slowed up. Thought she was grown, cause her chest and butt was swole up.
Look at you looking like that today. Look, mama, hey, what's your name?
Tamika.
Quit looking at me like that, baby girl. They say you just 15. Done told me about you look like you just too fine for your own damn good. But you can call me back when you hit 18 and I'll take you to the crib in the hood. Look at you looking like that today. Look, mama, hey, what's your name?
Tamika.
Quit looking at me like that, baby girl. They say you just 15. Done told me about you look like you just too fine for your own damn good. But you can call me back when you hit 18 and I'll take you to the crib in the hood.
Careful what you ask for, these streets ain't playing. You hit corners with a grown ass man.
Tamika started fast.
We live.
Well, hello world, hello on this terrific Top Dollar Tuesday, man, at Dallas After Dark with your boy, Mr. 21 Joe, you heard me? I got a special guest tonight, and we gonna chop it up, and I got a couple of hot topics, and I really just want to pick his brain to get the brother's point of view, because he got strong opinions, strong thoughts, and he's rooted in the Lord, so I value his opinion. But we're going to start off with Jason. I'm going to let him introduce himself right quick. How you doing, Mr. Dixon?
Man, I'm great, man. I'm great, man. It's a great day over here at Nostalgic Radio. I just excited to see what you got going on tonight. Let's roll.
Hey, well, let's jump right into it then. I want you to bring Mr. LD Rockmore to the screen. We're going to get it cracked. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Man, all is well, man. How you brothers doing, man? First of all,
Right
I
on.
like giving y'all flowers for what y'all doing. So y'all hear that round of applause I'm giving y'all, right? I'm giving y'all flowers, man. Y'all handling y'all business, man.
Say,
I
man, I sure
appreciate that.
appreciate it, man. You know what I mean? This is, if anybody that don't know, now you know this is my brother from another mother. You heard me? Been A1 since day one. We've been locked up like dreadlocks since we first bumped into the lot. He bumped into me in the lot because he felt my vibe and I felt his vibe. It's just always been a brotherly thing. We've always just clicked. I don't know why. We just clicked. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you meet people in life. God put people in your life, and they replace family members that you don't click with. You know what I mean? I'm closer to this brother than some of the men in my family. But so that's just to give y'all a little history of us. But say, Rock, they got this thing going on, man. I wish we could play the video. And he asked the lady a simple question. He asked quite a few. He had 25 college students or so out in the auditorium. And they was
Hold on,
right.
I got it. We're
You
gonna go
got it?
into it. Go ahead and bring it. Go ahead and bring it up. I'm about to set it up
Okay,
so
well,
we
he
can.
was talking to him and he was asking some questions. Now, all the questions, I didn't vibe with, but one particular question, Jason caught a hold to and put it on, boom. And it just went viral because it's so simple but real. In this time when everybody feel like you said earlier, their opinion matter. This is
Right.
what's right. You're dead ass wrong. You just feel that way. Even when we was young and growing up, you felt like doing something, but you was wrong, but you went and did it anyway because that's what you wanted to do. So we done
Right.
missed that part to where, oh no, this is how I feel, so it's right. Well, every time we feel something, that don't make it right. You know what I'm saying? And every time something is feel good, don't necessarily mean it's good for you. That's how a bunch of
That's
people
true.
get turned out. That's how a bunch of people get turned out. You know what I mean? So I want you to
Right.
listen to this video and check out the way he was asking her the question and how we got a couple of responses before I get into it. We got it queued up now, Mr. Dixon.
Yep, it's coming now.
I want you to feel this, check it out, and just sink it in right quick. Let it sink in. For the audience and everybody listening, thank you. I want y'all to participate. Comments or well.
Look at this.
Trans women are not women. Okay. What's your name?
Sam.
Nice to meet you. Let's define our terms. A woman is an adult female with XX chromosomes. You tell me, what is a woman?
I think a woman is somebody who identifies as a woman.
Got it. So that's not a definition. That's like saying a table is something that identifies as a table. Give me an objective definition of
No,
how...
it's not. A table is an object.
Well, tell how...
A table can't identify as anything. It doesn't have a choice.
You have to give me an objective definition of what a woman is.
If I decided right now that I wanted to identify as a woman, I would be a woman.
Okay, but that doesn't answer the question.
I know, but right now I'm a man, right? So if that happened right now, I would be a woman. So once a person makes the decision to identify as a woman,
got it. No,
they're a woman.
That's a separate issue. What is a woman?
That's the definition.
No, I know, but you have to tell me what...
A person who identifies themselves as a woman.
But you have to identify... How do you know that they are that thing?
How do I don't need to know what they are. I can ask them if I want to know.
But there needs to be... You need to tell me what that thing is, though.
Somebody who... Okay, sorry, we're not getting anywhere. We're not getting anywhere.
Well, no, it's important because it's like saying a giraffe is a thing that looks like a giraffe, or a coyote is a thing that looks like a coyote. It's called circular reasoning. You have to give me a actual definition.
I don't have to... I did give you a definition.
No, you said that a woman is something that thinks they're a woman.
I also want to say that one of my best friends is trans, and I would say that she's more of a woman than I am. I think that women define themselves by multiple things, not just their sex organs. If somebody asked me who I was as a woman, I would not say I have a vagina.
Totally fair.
I would.
No, I think you said something smart. So you said that person is more of a woman than you are. Therefore, you're grading off a definition of something accomplishes womanhood. What is that?
I think that's the thing too, and I do think that gets a little complicated, right? Because there are social norms for a gender, but I do think we try to break that, right?
No, for sure, but you said that specific friend is more of a woman than you are. Why?
I think she's a better person than me. I think she lives
women are
life.
better people?
She's a better woman than I am. I'm not saying women are better people.
But what makes a woman a woman? Because you said she's more of a woman than you are. So I want to know what that definition is.
Right, okay. I'm gonna let somebody else go.
can understand that.
Yeah, so we
Yeah,
just kind of
yeah, I can understand that. They just they well
We're
see they
back.
trying to they try. We ready?
Yeah, we're back.
They, you can play it at any time.
I've
I
already
just
played the video. You guys didn't see it?
no, the video wasn't up. It didn't play.
Oh, it got blocked and banned then, so I can't play it. So let me explain and let me set up what the video was about. So
okay.
somebody reported it. That's what I'm over here dealing with now. The minute I started playing it, somebody from the Paris 2024 rights manager claimed that it was their 30 seconds of the footage was theirs, and it wasn't. That I played it yesterday all day. It's a million views on mine. What it said was exactly this. That somebody came on and saw it and then they reported it. Sorry guys. But what it said was he asked the question. What he said was is what he said was at the end of the day, what is the definition of a woman? He first came on and said trans women are not women. He made that
Okay.
clear point. Then he came and he asked the gentleman that sat in the seat, what is a trans woman? What is the definition of a woman? The guy could not
Okay.
explain anything. All he gave was what we call our feelings. He said, and I quote, that if I want to be a woman and I say I'm a woman, then I'm a woman. He's everything like that. He came in and said, "I'm a woman." He said, "Well, that defies all the relevance because if I say I'm a table, am I a table?" He says, "Like a table coming in and saying that a table was a footstool." And the guy was like, "No, a table can't say this, a table can't say that, a table can't say any of that." But the truth of the matter is, that's what was said. So with that,
Okay.
the guy came back, talked to a girl. A girl got on the stage and said exactly this. Said that a woman cannot got on the stage and said exactly this. Said that she had a friend who was a trans person that was more of a woman than she was. And he said, with you saying that, you have a definition of what a woman is. So what is that? And she could not explain it. He said, no, you just said that she was a better woman than you are. What is the definition of a woman? That's where we started. To read you guys the dictionary version, there are some dictionary versions that say a woman is a female born or raised, which identifies as, but the part that they're clinging to is the second topic that just got put in there maybe a couple of years ago that says any person that identifies as a woman is a woman. So that's what topic's coming on the topic. That
Oh, okay.
video
Okay.
yesterday reached almost 2 million views because I've been called everything from a homophobe. I'm transsexual myself. Told me that I'm in the
Yeah.
closet. That's why I'm doing these things. And all I wanted to define is what is the definition of a woman? Because if you say trans women are women, is that not like a smack in the face to real women?
Um. Okay. Let
Let
me
me get.
start from here.
Hold on, Rock. Hold
First,
on. Let me get into.
yeah.
Let me get into it, Rock. Let me get into it. Now, in the conversation, he asked one of the students something, and the student came back and say, "Well, if I say I'm a woman, because that's what I identify as." He said, "No, okay, that's like saying a table's a table." And he said, "No, that table don't have feelings, but the table don't reproduce." So that's where I was coming from last night. So then he come right back at him and say, "Well, if I identify as this, I'm this." The next lady, when she said her transgender friend was a better woman than her, he asked her to explain that. You know what I mean? Like, well, what makes her a better woman than you? And he said her statement was she's a better person. She's nice. You know what I mean? She's good people. And so he was like, so smart. He was like, so transgender people are nicer and smarter? Well, what makes them a woman? And the girl got a little frustrated and she got up and said, I'm gonna let somebody else have a seat, and she left. So it was very interesting to me how everybody tiptoed around saying just because you want to be something don't mean you are. And my point of view was God don't make mistakes, and it's a few things that we can't change. Our race, our gender, and our parents, our family. We can't change that no matter what we do. That's just who we are. Now, the decisions that you make or we make when we do stuff, well, we got free right. That's what Calvary it was all about when he got crucified on the cross. So that we got free will. You know what I mean? But when we do stuff that we want to do, like Jason was saying, they wrote into the dictionary, they add in if you identify this, if you a boy is a boy and a girl is a girl. It's been that way throughout the beginning of time. We had a couple of people coming in, and then they went to going back historically on us, trying to say, well, my people are this and my people are that, and transgenders have always been around. So my reply to them was, you can go all the way back to Africa, and it was punks and stuff then. My reply was, certain continents in this place, on this planet in 2024, will kill you for that behavior. They take your life. They don't believe in it. So we're not saying it don't exist, and that don't make it right. So that's kind of where I was coming from. So tonight, starting out, I wanted to hear just how you think. What is the definition of a woman, Rob?
Okay, first of all, let me say this to kind of set up so let everybody know where he just ain't talking some, he ain't living. I've been in the ministry for 19 years. I've been pastoring for 4 years. And I don't want nobody to come off like I'm this holier than thou person, because everybody that's heard this show before, it's a song that come on called Tamika that has been played on this station. Let me clear my throat. 2 years ago, I met Tamika about the middle of July. So that's me. So I've had a both sides of the track experience. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I'm from Highland Hills for real, not for play. So I see things from a non-biblical perspective of how people live, and I live by a biblical perspective. And now to answer the question, a woman is simply an adult female who carries herself and takes care of her responsibilities from the feminine aspect of life. Now, anybody can say what they want to about how they feel about what they want to be. God does. God never makes a mistake. So when God created you to be who you are, you can't change that. So when to define a woman, is stages. First, you're a girl. Then you grow up and mature and become a woman. So the definition in Webster of being a female adult is that simple. So many times we try to change and define things to fit how we feel. Okay, I can say I'm rich. My bank account gonna say you lying. As much as I say I'm rich, my bank account gonna say you lying. No, you not. So as much as I want to be that, I can change that. I can change my conditions, but I can't change who God created me to be. I can act any way I want to. I can dress any way I want to. God created my gender as such, and that's who I am.
And that's the
Well,
point of what we were pushing. So to go off what you said, that's the point of what I was stating, because like I was telling my guys and I was telling Top, a lot of the conversation on the post were people's feelings. And all
Right,
I was stating was a true fact. In the beginning, there was man and there was woman. I
right,
had people come and say, hey, even in the beginning, there was trans people. And I said, I
oh,
understand that. But the fact that you say trans, let's define that. It means transformation from something. So therefore,
right,
if they're trans, that means they came from either a man or from a woman. But when you talk about 11 genders, I'm like, where? Show me where. Then they started going into, just to give you a little bit more background, they started going into different animals. And I said, species are different. Animals do evolve. Let me tell you how. Some animals, their species evolve in saying, hey, if my male population is dying off, the female would turn into a male. But chemically and naturally, if the female dies off, then the one male would turn into a female. We know this. This happens in fish, it happens in
Right.
worms, it happens in these type of things. But when I say define a female, like Top said earlier, there's one thing that separates what the human race does compared to these other species. And the factor of that is they can give birth after transformation.
Yeah, God, see, God in the creation, Adam, man comes from woman comes from man real. His instructions was be fruitful and multiply.
That part.
Be fruitful and multiply. Now, when worms, fish, and all that, the male can turn, but God gave us dominion over all of those animals.
That's
So
right.
we are not in the sense like that. We have dominion over there. We can choose. We have different senses than animals. So when somebody do something crazy, they say, "Oh, they animalistic," which meaning they're acting other than what they have dominion over. Now we have people love to run to things that they don't live by.
Right on.
People love to run to things they don't live. It's hard for a person to say, well, you know, the Bible says this, but you don't live by it. You use it as a reference to try to prove a point of you being right. It says, be fruitful and multiply. Now, I have a question. Now, if God created two genders to be together, if that was God's creation, it would have only been two people ever created. Let's stop and think about that. If he says be fruitful and multiply, you know it takes man and woman to get together to multiply. If it's two genders together, God instructions can be manifested to make the creation of the world continue because two of the same genders can produce. So
Right.
if God didn't mean for it to be a man and a woman, and he meant for same genders to be together, that's what he would have created. Now, sin comes into the world when we want to do what we want to do.
Right.
So when we want to do what we want to do, it's consequences for that. And you can't say, I was born like this. Now, let me say this with all due respect, it's some low down, no good people who have done things to youth in an early age to make them force them to try to like something that they didn't supposed to like.
Right.
Right.
And it has hurt them. It has been a struggle with them, but that is not natural. Let me say this, and I'm gonna try to say this in a good way. Some parts of your body are used for exit only. Some parts are not meant for anything to enter. And y'all know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Right. So we are fixated with pleasure and pleasing ourselves that we have lost reality of what's really true. It's not about, to me, and this is my opinion, if we think practically and say, some people out there say, I know it's wrong and I want to do what I want to do. I would kind of respect that more in terms of you trying to twist it to make it right by literature, biblically, or any other thing. Just say I want to do what I want to do.
Well, yeah. Well, see, that's the whole catch to it, Rock. We Homo sapiens, and like you were saying earlier, we have dominion over this planet. See, we were designed in His image, so we supposed to be in charge, and everything has a reproduction system. The the point I was making last night was just what you were saying. You almost hitting it on the head, and I'm so glad you saying it like you saying it because it's PC. Because you know I'm never PC. I'm just raw digger. And what you saying, we were hitting on it last night. Lost that reality of truth, that perspective. They seem to think that how they feel. Oh, well, that makes it right because I feel this way. Oh, because a law was passed, that makes it right. You know, and I always say slavery was illegal. It was legal, but it wasn't right. Just to give people something to put it up against that's really real that they can actually see. You know, that they can say, "Now, okay, I understand where you're coming from." That being able to be fruitful and multiply, you can't do that with two sexes, no matter how you look at it. So all I was saying to them last night, Rock, was they was like, "Well, what is a woman? A woman is a mother. That's what makes her a woman. That's what makes a woman can do anything a man can do. A man can do anything a woman can do. But they need each other to make life. That's the way we design."
Now a woman,
Absolutely.
I'm not now a woman. I agree with you 99%. The 1% is a woman not necessarily have to be a mother, but
No, capable.
but
Born
a
born
woman.
as a woman from a woman
Right,
with
right, right,
intent.
right,
You know what I mean? That's what I meant. Some women can't have kids. Some women be born
right.
and they spine too little. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm saying just if you got 100 healthy women and 100 healthy men, they gonna have kids. Now, if they
Bottom line.
something happen, if something happen, you know what I mean, the other way, that stunts their growth. You know what I mean? If somebody molesting them and messing with them, 99, like you said, 99% on that, I believe it's closer to that than it is the other way for that. I believe some crazy little somebody done something they didn't have no business doing, and we have to. We don't talk about stuff in the black community.
Hey,
What happens in my
but
house stays in my house.
I want
We
to say
don't go
something
sit
on
on
that
the
though.
couch.
I
Go
want to
ahead,
say
Jay.
something on that though because I made this very clear in my post. I have family members, like I told you last night, like I said on my show last night. I have family members that I know the way they are. They've been that way since they were younger, and nobody touched them. So we do understand that in some instances things happen, right? We do
Right,
understand that chemical reaction, mental, chemically and mentally, things happen to some
right,
people. But when you start grouping all those things happening to everyone, then you are delusional because you're not
right,
looking at what's really happening.
right,
Majority, I just said today on another call that I had, if you take 100 of these people that say of these trans men that are trans women, and you ask them, did something happen to you? At least I believe only 10 to 15% of them are going to say no. The rest
but
of
is
them
that
are
the
going to
truth?
say something happened. Something. The rest of them are going to say this happened. I got on my team for my business. I have men that are gay that tell me that, hey, one guy told me straight up. He said, "No, Jason, I became gay because my neighbor next door started messing with me as a kid, and I thought it was normal. So I grew up liking boys because I thought it was right."
Well, at that time, now that right there is a key sign of lack of strong supervision or proper parenting because
And I agree.
at a young age for somebody to be taken advantage of, that's a very cruel thing. And to piggyback on what you say, this is a free will society. So like I say, people are making choices and trying to hide behind choices they make. And just make this, you made the choice, and don't try to justify the choice when it don't line up with what's right. See, I tell people this, like 40 years from now, Tupac and Martin Luther King gonna be white because they gonna switch it, and then people, it's gonna be the truth to some
Yeah,
people.
we talked about controlling the narrative and
Yeah,
how it's affecting our kids, how they
it's
planting
gonna be the truth.
seeds.
And what they're doing, they're trying to destroy masculinity. That's
Yes,
just
sir.
all it is. They
Yes,
trying to
sir.
destroy masculinity, and
Yes,
it's like
sir.
I worked in the school. I worked in the school system for 6 years. You might see a young man need some tough love. not no profanity, not no, not no violence, not hitting him. He needs some tough love, like from a man.
Right,
And after he received that tough love, a lot of times, matter of fact, I don't care who listening, because this is the truth.
right,
The woman come behind him, oh baby, what's wrong with you? Now I done already handled that.
That's
I
right.
don't need I don't need you coming behind that. Now, if you go before me and work it your way and that's effective, I'm not gonna come behind you with the tough love when your gloves on work. So the masculinity is trying, they trying to say, oh, don't be too rough, don't be too this. Now listen, like, I love sports.
right.
I'm 55 years old. uh I seen Mikhail clothesline Rambus and they shot two free throws. You do that now, you're gonna get suspended for 20 games. But
And
what I'm
kicked out of
saying
the
is,
game immediately.
so what I'm saying is, we grew up on it being rough. Now when the rules change, we understand why the rules change, but it still has this roughness to it. Now, why
Right.
does the rules have to change of men in society being a disciplinarian when it worked? I don't care. Now, yeah, we have a problem with single parent homes, but when it was single parent homes in a certain time, let that mama say, I'm finna call your daddy.
That's right.
Just let her just say that. Not even he pulling up. I'm finna call your daddy. It had a masculine authority stage. And even with the man dealing with his daughter, he was sensitive enough to know how to handle that in a masculine way.
That's right.
Absolutely.
But what they have done is they push an agenda, if you like it or not. Now,
Yeah.
this is me. This is me. If you have a channel that's promoting certain things, I think the commercials should coincide with that. Now, don't get me wrong. If you got a Coors Light commercial on during a football game, okay, somebody is really drinking a Coors Light watching the game.
Right.
If you put a McDonald's or Burger King or whatever, somebody gonna say at halftime, man, I'm gonna go get me a Whop. After the game, I'm gonna go get me something to eat. You
Right.
advertise such things, or in the midst of a masculine event, they will put a commercial on with two men kissing each other, showing you if you take this pill, you'll be safe. Pushing the agenda on you if you want to hear it or not.
And you're
Yeah.
and I want to say on that you're absolutely right because I tell people why is it that men have a cure for disrupting AIDS but women they every commercial you see that says that it's only trans women in the commercials or gay men, and it's only built for them. I when I say an agenda, people think that I'm just talking crazy, and I'm like they're pushing an agenda. And the reason why I've been getting asked all day, why am I so worried about this? And I'm like, because they're pushing it on our kids. It's not us that they're going after. They're literally coming after our kids, and you guys are saying it's okay. Everybody on the post, I'm like, you guys are saying it's okay that this makes sense to you.
Okay, now check this out. I agree, man. I'm glad you chimed in. I see somebody chimed in. Man, he always on the show. Yeah, I grew up on tough love, man, and
Hold
I
on.
agree that's the best way. But what
Hold
I'm
on, Mr.
saying is,
Rock.
let me say this.
Hold on, Mr. Rock. Hold on, Mr.
Let me,
Rock. I gotta say something, and then you go right ahead. What the process, the part that's disturbing, and everybody knows it, and nobody says it, is we are killing future generations with this behavior. And everybody knows this. All of the kids, see, we all got that in our family. We love all our family. Love is love, man. My morality don't have nothing to do with it. I love you. We are killing off generations of people, and in a minute won't be no people if that's the lifestyle that takes over. If the woman want to be the man and the man want to be the woman, we won't be here long. Go ahead, Rock.
well, what it takes is, I believe in faith, but I believe in faith in action. I believe in prayer, but I believe prayer and activity. I believe faith without works is dead. You
Amen.
with your faith, you got to have some action. Now, don't nobody care about the crack house. Don't nobody care about the deal pile. I mean the PCP house. Don't nobody
The
care
A
about the
family
weed
coming out of it.
house. Yeah, don't nobody care about the weed house to Junior come up out of there. Oh, we got to
That's
get rid
right.
of it now. See, that's
That's
the
right.
problem. That's what I see as a situation, not the major problem. Things that we know are detrimental to us in our community, we turn a blind eye to it until it affects somebody directly linked to us.
Right, right,
This this is real talk. Listen, my parents, both of them are gone to be with the Lord. I can remember police coming over my dad's house in 2013 in Highland Hills, telling him, you know, it's a drug house on the corner of your street. The police is telling a tax-paying resident, well, go better around it then. If you know, but see, everybody turn blind eye to certain things. And me being a pastor and me seeing people go through pain and suffering firsthand, the things that we run to in trouble, we need to run to them before we get in trouble. And then when we get in trouble, it'll already know how to deal with your trouble because you done brought your trouble there. Okay, you go to
okay,
the hospital and ain't been to the doctor in 20 years, and all of a sudden, oh, we got to keep you here. We need to perform surgery on you right now because you ain't been going getting no regular checkups.
right.
But see, if you stay connected with the regular things that's going to make things happen, like me, and I push this envelope, and you can ask Top. I believe every man, boy, and girl should have a church home. That's what I believe.
Right.
Because I believe you need proper balance in your life because you're dealing with so much evil places. And then this is what people going to say. I'm ready for this. Well, all churches ain't right. Okay, I can't make you. If you like burgers, you might not like Burger King. Go to McDonald's. You might not like McDonald's. Go to Winfield, but you admit you like burgers. So if you say I believe in God and I've accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and personal Savior, find somewhere where you can not go to church because you believe. Go to church so you can worship Him. And let me help somebody with this. We are the church, which meaning this is a church. You a church. Brother Dixon, you a church. Your body's a temple. You a church.
Yeah.
We need to bring our church to the edifice and the saints gather together so we can have some strength. And you know what? Mechanics hang out with mechanics.
Right.
I mean, dope boys
True.
hang out with dope boys.
True.
That's
Salesmen
right.
hang out with salesmen. Athletes hang out with athletes. Why people that believe in God don't hang out with each other and strengthen each other so we can make some sense out
I,
this
I
crazy
can give
world?
you that
Because
answer. I can give you that
let me hear
answer
it.
straight up. This is the reason why you
Let me hear
said
it.
people run from one church to the next, because if the gossip isn't there, if it changes, church changes you. Do you agree? You go there enough, it's going to change how you think. It's going to change how you talk. It's going to change how you start to walk. As you start to change, you expect that people go to church with expecting the church to agree with them instead of doing what is
Oh,
right and agreeing with the church.
and
Right?
that's why you that that's why you that hospital when you sick and that doctor tell you to take that nasty medicine,
Yep.
pills bigger than man, I'm just a real dude. Pills bigger than them Niacin pills we used to take back in the days. And you know why you took them? Yeah, I'm
Yep.
real. You will take you'll take the medicine that doctor subscribed for you, and you say, "Oh, my doctor told me to take this." Well, the doctor that operates a spiritual operation on you every Wednesday and Sunday told you to read Psalm 23. Oh, that nigga can't tell me nothing.
Right. That's why I said it comes down to a spiritual belief. But like you said, I'm not even telling everybody to go to church. What I tell people is, hey, get you a group of guys. Get you first find God yourself. first pick up the Bible and attempt to find him yourself. Because if
Right.
you don't, going to church does not matter. Going to go sit and listen to someone read to you, that's like a dad telling us a nighttime story to his son, never asking him what did he get out of the story. You're not going to comprehend it unless you take
Right.
the
That's
time
why.
and build it yourself, right?
Yeah, that's
Well,
why. Yeah. You have to have a relationship with anything. When you come to a group, you're not going to be beneficial to the group because you don't bring none to the table.
Absolutely.
well, when you talk about church coming together, a group of people and what they bring to the table, when Christians, real Christians, because everybody that claim to be Christians not, everybody acting like they're going to heaven and they not. Real Christians, when they get together, they have real talk because the world is real, the trauma is real, the journey is real. And when we do that, that's what makes it a strong unit. I think not the absolute reason why, but a big reason that people shun away is because the way society is set up, church ain't the place no more. I got a group of kids I work with in school. They teenagers. You ask them if they go to church. They like, no, I ain't never been no church. Oh, I went when I was little with my granny. I'm talking about babies 15, 16 years old. Ain't never been to church. I asked them what Christmas is. They say it's the day we get gifts. They don't even know it's Jesus' birthday. I asked them what Easter is. They say, oh, that's when they hide the money and candy and the eggs and we go get it. They don't even know it was the resurrection. And this is what's causing the effect that I think everybody wants an answer for. And the answer was you got to be real. But right now, we put the but on everything. Da 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 da, but. Da 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 da, but. And when it comes to God, ain't no but. God is God. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, when you use God, you got to put but first, not God, but you got to put but God because
Right. And a lot of
but
people don't do that because most people nowadays, the internet has gave everybody a mouth, has
Right.
given everybody something to say. So everybody's opinion count. It's the reason why now when you go to your job, you have to say, oh, that's if you look like a girl to me, you dress like a girl to me, I'm used to saying no ma'am, yes ma'am, no sir, yes sir. So now I could possibly lose my job because of what I was raised. Now I got to change it because you woke up the next day. You woke up one day after being a girl from the age of 6 to freaking 40. One day you woke up and said, I'm a dude.
Well, it's like when they say, "Oh, they discriminating against us." It's just like racism. No, it's not for that particular reason. You don't have
Right,
to do that. See, you can change your mind tomorrow and be straight. You can
right.
change your mind tomorrow and say I'm bisexual or pansexual, whatever. That's a mind. You can't change your color. So that's always bothered me when they try to put the comparison and say, well, this, and that. But the question that the man was asking was so simple. What makes a woman? What makes a woman is she reproduces. She's the mother of the earth. Every one of these people that we love and we talking about, they all came from a woman. Every one of them came from a woman. That's what a woman is.
Right.
That's what a woman is. And everybody act like it's a bad thing to say she's supposed to have kids. That's what she's for. We don't have a world without a woman. It's not unimportant. It's the most important. A woman makes the family, like they say, okay, he buy the house, but she gonna make it a home. It's rules
Right.
to it. We get away from all the simple stuff because people get so complicated, y'all, and say, okay, well, I feel like this. Well, if I told people how I felt all the time, I'd probably be in jail.
well,
So
I know
people
yeah,
I
you
have
know,
feel it.
people need to
we
understand though, they feelings ain't what your feelings are your feelings, and you are entitled to them. But right is right and wrong is wrong. When you say what is a woman, she have kids. She's a mother. That motherly instinct. We all know what a mother is, and we done lost that somewhere when the narrative got changed. Disney put gay cartoon characters out. Every superhero now
Justice League and all of them. It's somebody in there gay. Two men gonna kiss or two women gonna kiss. Batman and Robin. Now somebody in the show gay. When I was little, Olive Oyl didn't have no shape in Popeye. We watched Popeye every day. She was a straight string bean with some long hair. Him and Bruto go crazy over. And if they got a kiss, they was on top of the world. Now these cartoons show them doing a little bit of everything. The dolls got breasts and private parts. The man, it's terrible what we allow our kids to receive in at a young age. A woman is born that way. It's not an accident. God
Right.
didn't make a
Right.
mistake. Now you can choose. Some women say I don't want no kids. Well, that's a choice you can make. But being born a woman is not. Some people have gender parties when you're having a baby. A month or two before the baby born, they tell you if it's a boy or a girl. Some people like to wait and find out. So guess what? Well,
You,
if
you know,
you wait, if you wait, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
If you wait until the
Now,
baby is born and the doctor
yeah.
gonna say it's a boy or a girl, the same way that gender test, they don't read the gender test and then be like, but you know, if they don't want to be no boy, they ain't no boy. But this is a boy. You having a boy. They don't say you having a question mark. They don't say you having an opinion. You having a boy or a girl.
And that's exactly what I said yesterday. Like they don't do the birth certificate and say, "Oh, it's an it," and then 5 months later we can determine what you want it to be. That's not how
Yeah.
this works. But they're pushing the agenda, and I'm not. Listen, I say this on every show. I'm not against the whatever you want to be it. But when you start, it's like being. Hey, to be real, I'm gonna say this like this: being a believer in God, being a heterosexual is now under attack. If you are a
No
straight
doubt.
person, we are now the minority. We are now the
No
people
doubt.
that everybody say is wrong because we
Right.
stand on our ground. And they show
Yeah.
that because how easy is it for them to cancel anything that we do if we speak against anything that we deem is wrong? How easy is it for us to be pushed to the side? Or, like I said on the post, I've had people belittle me because I asked a simple question. If you say trans women are women, then what define what a woman is to me? Because apparently I've been looking at it all wrong from the time I was born. Because when I was
Well,
born, I had a brother and a sister. My mom was the woman, and my dad was the male.
well, see again, what you're saying is so simple. It's actually like Rock said all the time. Common sense ain't common no more. We know the difference. We know what truth is, but people want to do what they want to do. So the problem is answer the question: what is a woman? What makes a woman a woman? You dig what I'm saying? It's not how she feel. It's not what she do. And what she do, she can do something that nobody else can do. And the thing is, everybody here come from her. So what
But
is that?
so, Pastor, I'm gonna take it to you on this. I'm gonna ask you this question because this is a question that's been asked to me over and over again today. Define what a man is. What is the definition of a man? The true definition, not what we think. The words real get put in front of it every time we talk about a man, but real does not describe what a man is. It describes a characteristic that we as individuals want this man to be.
A man, to me, is a man who stands on principles, live by them, don't waver from them, and stand up in his masculinity when it count and when it don't count.
Right. So those are
And let me see.
characteristics of a man. What I'm asking is, see where I'm getting at? I look at it from
Yeah.
both sides. The definition of a man, define a man. The same way we're saying define a woman, what makes a man a man? When you're born, what makes you a man? What says,
Your,
hey, this is a boy, and we know
your
it's a boy.
gender. It's your gender. See, everybody gets away from the gender because they want to talk about the topic. your gender what determines if you're a man or a woman. It's the same answer for either question. It's
Yeah.
not what you do. It's not how you
And
raise. It's
and
not what you
and
believe
Pastor
in. It's
and
not
Pastor,
your ethnic.
I wasn't taking away from what you're saying. You're absolutely right. But when I have this
It's
conversation,
just your gender.
I'm a very logical person. So I'm like, I'm only, and when he asked that question in the video, he only wanted one, it was only one true answer. But no one,
Okay,
go ahead.
I'm listening. No, you going in and out. I thought you paused. I'm sorry. Go
Oh
ahead,
no,
brother Dixon. I ain't
when
mean to
no one,
interrupt.
I'm sorry, it's my internet over here. When no one, only reason he was asking the question because what defines us from birth in that gender is whether you have a stick in between your legs or if you have a slit in
Right,
between your legs when you come out.
right. By birth,
Those
right,
are the two genders we've been knowing for 300,000 years.
Since
right. That's
creation
the
was started.
right. That's how you define it.
Right. So everything that you put on that was a characteristic of what in your mind, just like if I ask Top that question, he's going to have a different characteristic of what a man is. If I ask a woman, she's going to have a different characteristic. So we are taking characteristics. I'm saying all this that we are taking characteristics and allowing science to say, hey, those characteristics can make you whatever you want. So my statement on that post today was, well, God, I swim every day. So I'm a motorboat. From now on, I'm going to identify as a motorboat.
Right. Now and then and I understand what you're saying. So it's simple. A man is a person that produces life, and a woman is the one that carries life.
That's right. Their gender is what
And
determines.
right, and see what happens is God creates lemon. One day a man squeezed it and put it in a cup and drunk it and say, okay, this lemon juice. And we make different things with different flavors. Man puts his thing, whatever he wants to on it, but what's his naturally created, we know what it is. And you know, like I'm gonna stand on it. And Top says something, and both of y'all says something. It comes a time in life where you got to draw a line in the sand and say I'm with this or I'm not. And
Yes.
irregardless of how people look at me, I don't care. I stand on, people say I don't stand on how we used to live was right. I stand on what's right and what's wrong.
Yes.
And how we used to do things were right, and sometimes how we used to do things was wrong. Let me give you an example. The discipline was right, but as we grew older, and the parents were saying, "Go to school, get a job." I mean, go to college, get a job. As we grew older, we like, okay, we go to college, get a job. It's gonna take us 10 years to pay off these student loans. So
Yep.
that advice could have been tweaked a different way as an entrepreneur spirit. So some of the things that they said, due to the time, they really wasn't up to time, but it was the best advice based off their experiences and what they knew. But how they reared us was basically do what you have to do. What they were saying was do what you have to do so you won't have to depend on nobody else. That's what they
Exactly.
were saying.
That's
Yes.
right, to be able to
And I
provide for yourself.
That's
and
how
I
they were
agree.
saying.
And Pastor, you're absolutely right. I agree with that 100%. Times change, things evolve. I understand that. But through that evolution, certain things, like I love what you just said. You're either going to stand with what's right or you're going to fall for the alcohol and the punch.
The okie
Right.
doke.
That's what it is. If you know, I believe that a lot of people walk around here knowing what's right. But because we live in a time now where money is being made off of choosing the opposite side, you're going to be a millionaire if you just go along with what we say. You're going to be a great
That's the
influence.
that's the problem. The
Yes,
money. That's the bottom line. Because
absolutely.
okay, we all in this world now. And just think about what I'm about to say just in a sentence. In before social media, if you said, man, 10 people following me, you'll be like, man, you know who they are? Let's go get them.
Right.
See? But we live in a world now where in technology and all that, to get our message across, we need followers. We didn't care who liked us and who followed us. But now in a modern world and how technology is, excuse me, we need that feedback of likes and followers to let us know where we are and are we all over the place or are we hitting the mark. But what happens is everything that, like Facebook, when Facebook first started, you had to have a college email to get Facebook when it first started.
Yes. Yes. You couldn't even get on it. Yes.
You couldn't even get on it. So now everyone can get on it. Everybody can tell you what's going on and et cetera, et cetera. But these tools that we have should be used for the proper way because, like, okay, you from Nebraska, you a corn husker. I've been
Yep.
following the show. I'm
I
from
appreciate it.
Texas, but I'm a OU dude.
Yep.
So I don't want to go there with you right now. So, but yeah, because I remember Jarvis Red Wine ran on
Yep.
OU and they started throwing oranges on the field and Billy Sims and Thomas Lott and them started acting up. So I don't want to go there with you. But my point is,
Wait a minute,
man,
hold
you
on. Y'all don't get to do
Nah,
the
hold
college
on.
talk and don't say Texas is number one. Now continue.
Hold on.
We number one. Now y'all continue.
Yeah, y'all the first class that didn't want to recruit the black athlete. That's why I'm an OU fan. Now we can do that. Now, what I'm saying is
Texas number one.
we put emphasis on things that are important. We put emphasis on them, but we don't put action with what we emphasize. Everybody want to say, what's wrong with these kids?
Right.
Ain't nobody, and half of the people are saying what's wrong with them. Do you have a solution for it?
That part.
Right. And
That's
I,
what
and
Like I
that's,
have,
that's what
like, yeah.
that's
I
what
mean,
the
they just
show
want
is
to
all
know
about.
that's what this
Hold
show
on, y'all.
is about. That's what our show is about.
That's what we all about is having solutions for any problems that we bring up. Now,
Okay,
what we talking about
okay,
tonight?
y'all go ahead. Yeah.
What we talking about tonight? We were saying how they do stuff and why they do stuff and post it. They be wanting justification. Everybody know right from wrong at a certain age. Cause you have this world will teach you right from wrong. And if your parents don't teach you, the world will. You keep going in there and
Boy,
stealing and fucking with people, the world will teach you right from wrong. But when you
boy,
get
I
as an
swear I could
adult,
for what it was.
as you get for an adult, you know right from wrong. Now, want everybody's approval when you know that shit's wrong. But now, if you say it's wrong, now you're a bad person. I remember when the gays were in the closet and the real men was standing on their 100. Now the gays are out of the closet and it seems like the real men in the closet because we under attack. You almost can't just say the truth because you have to be PC, politically correct.
And this is what I'm saying. Okay, I'm a man of God, and I'm standing on that because biblically, I believe what the Bible says about male and female.
Right.
And whatever you believe, you have to stand on it. Like, I'm going to stand on it.
All
And
the
I'm going to
time.
believe in it. And I ain't going to compromise. And I ain't going to waver from it. And if I got to be persecuted to say, if a man lie with a man like he lie with a woman, it's damn. I'm saying what
What
I
the word
believe.
says. Right.
I'm standing on it. But what I'm
But
saying, as I believe it and I stand on it, I'm living it.
right. Hey, Pastor, but
You
this is
see
what
what
I'm
I'm
going to.
saying?
So I'm going to play that. I'm going to play my role in that because they'll come back, or the society will come back and say, "Well, which Bible are you reading from? Which Bible is correct? Which Bible?" Because It's different religions, or they'll come back and say religion is made up, religion is man-made, because we live in this world where everybody, and I'm saying all that because before I attack any topic, I get these responses because best believe I'm a great marketer. The best thing I do is throw a tester topic out there. When I throw it out there, I kind of throw a line because I want to see what people think. These people on the post that I put out, they think they're hurting my feelings because I've been called. I was even told I was sleeping in my mama's basement, that I'm a fat, chubby guy sleeping in my mama's basement that's in the closet. Because, like I just had to type and tell somebody, everybody is upset with me because of topics that you guys are engaging in when all I asked was one question. If trans women are women, then define to me what a woman is. So what you're saying is absolutely true. God is what I stand on, and that's what I've been backing up everything that I talk about on. But they'll come back and they'll say, well, you're talking about, one dude was like, you're Sky Daddy. You're Sky Daddy this. I'm like, well, call him whatever you want. But if you talk about the time before God, which most of them do, and they try to compare, well, before God there was trans people, there were this, and I told them exactly this, guys, we all agree on it. They're still doing genome testing, they're still doing crossbreeding testing in labs, they're still messing with genetics just like they were back then. I take that, but let's
Well, you
define.
know me, I'm kind of like old fashioned with
Yes,
certain
sir.
things, and that
Yes,
don't
sir.
mean that I'm not realistic in the day. When I heard somebody say before God, I don't believe in that.
Me neither, and that's what I'm saying. There was nothing before him.
Right.
A
Now,
com-
now to answer your question, so people be like, "What version of the Bible you read?" This and that. Okay, you can go through what people call the Standard Bible, the 66 books.
Yep.
You can go through the Apocalypse Bible that has
Yep.
more than 66 books. You can go through the Ethiopian Bible that has over 85 books. You can go to the Torah. You can
Yep.
go to the Holy Quran. You can go through Judaism. You can go through whatever you want to. None of those principles say anything about same gender relationships being right.
None of them. None of them. And I know this because I am a political science major. And if you're studying theology, you understand that if you want to understand government, you have to understand the religion in that nation, right? You have to understand because that's what their government is built around. And so while I was in college, my professor made us read every Bible out there. We had to understand what they said, how to compare them, and that was part of my religious journey, is what helped me come to, hey, there really is a God. We all talk the same things. We just see them from different perspectives, right? So, with
Right.
that, that's where I look at it when people come at me or come and they're like, you're just a homophobe or you're this is now. I'm like, I'm nothing. But truth is truth. A table is a table. I don't care how you do it. If you cut the legs down, will it still not be a table?
Right. No, is this a table with no legs?
Right. And if you're a male, just because you put boobs, just because you put a wig on, just because you throw on makeup, just because you take estrogen, because we all know that as we get older as males, estrogen starts to come a little higher in our bodies in your older age. If you don't know that, I just educated some people. But that does not make you the woman that I look at every day, the woman that I want to be with every day. That does not make you. You may feel feminine. Don't get it twisted. You may feel or become feminine, but there's a difference in those two words. Feminine and what a woman is are two different things, because you can have a feminine male. We see it every day.
Yeah, well, see, the
All
thing
right.
is, well, here's the thing, guys. Let me piggyback on what y'all saying. Get in there. Of course, we all got partners that was soft, but they wasn't gay. We had friends that dressed up like Michael Jackson and Prince, but they wasn't gay. Matter of fact, most of them got the girls because the girls liked that look. It was a look. We all had friends that didn't play on the football team, that didn't never really get into a fight,
But now we done grew up and we grown. They own homes, they married, but they wasn't never no rough riders. They was always soft. You know what I mean? To us, what the definition of soft, mild mannered, softly spoken, non-confrontational. So that don't give justification to them trying to say, well, I feel like this. You can feel any way you want to because that's a we have that. It's in us. We
Right,
supposed to feel.
right.
We
Yeah,
supposed to
I'm
have
glad you
emotion.
said. I'm glad you're
We
saying that
supposed to
because
have emotions. But
masculinity. Right.
go ahead.
I ain't saying masculinity. Look at me, y'all. I ain't saying you got to have your cigarettes rolled up in your arm and that's masculinity. No, it's
Right.
it's
Right.
different forms. Yeah, because what we have to understand is my daddy was a gentle giant. What I mean, he said something once, he meant that. Like when he met Top, he wanted to know his real name. He never called nobody by their nickname. He was a gentle giant. He wasn't no rah rah dude, but he was the realest man I ever met because he lived by principles and what he said he meant, and he didn't raise his voice, and he never had to say it twice. And he just, I mean, it was real simple dialogue. This what's gonna happen. This what you're gonna do. If you don't do this, this is the consequences. If you do this, this can be the results. It wasn't no, I mean, it wasn't no. But when he told you something one time, it stuck with you like you got a whooping for 3 hours because it was that profound. So what? And for the solution, because I know this what y'all show is about. I think that when we look at the solution, I think we have to learn how to respect each other more. And things that we know are not right, we shouldn't try to push rights to make them right and then fight a cause and try to make people believe that it's right because we have rights to push that. Now, I know we've been talking about one agenda for a long time, and it's not really one I like to talk about for a long time, but I know that's the topic. But I feel like if we could find some way to respect each other and come together and don't worry about who in charge as long as what we're doing is benefiting the younger generation and also including all generations so we can get the right type of feedback. We need a multi-generational effort because if we get a multi-generational effort, we'll be able to get a good solution. And what I mean by that is everybody has a part to play in this, but I think sometimes we be concerned about who running it and what might go wrong. See, my theories is a little off the wall and a little crazy, but I think that once the woman left the house and had to help her man to support the family, the house lost something. Now, hear me well. The man is not doing wrong. We're not talking about a man that's doing wrong. This man is out here working every day trying to do right. But economically, he is not receiving proper wages to the growth of his family. He got this job when them boy and girl was in the 5th and 6th grade. He not getting any raises, quarter raise, 50 cents here. Now they growing up. He want to play on the football team. He want to be in the band. She want to be a cheerleader. She want to be in the chess club. And those efforts cost finances. So he's not doing wrong. She's at home. And all of a sudden the woman said, baby, I need to help you. Not trying to hurt him. So she goes out, leaves the home where she was nurturing the kids, making sure her husband came home to what he needed when he was out here dealing with this cold world. She left the house and said, baby, I need to help. And when she left the house, something was lost. Now, I want everybody to hear me well. I'm not saying a woman, oh, you cooking clean, stay in the bedroom. No, when she left the house, of being what she was as the nurturer and all that, something left the house. And when she left the house and started earning wages, now what happens? We can kill two birds with one stone. We can hire this black woman. It's a double minority. So she started getting jobs, and sometimes her pay went up. Now, when she gets home, now naturally she's physically tired. The kids that went from cornbread, green beans, cabbage, and chicken fried steak to chicken nuggets, onion rings, and tater tots. And now, not only is she too tired to be the nurturer, be the person that takes care of the home with what God has given her as the feminine touch, and now she's sometimes too tired to be intimate with her man. And all of that changed when the man was not getting proper wages for what he was doing. And she said, "Baby, I need to help."
Yeah, well, I can agree
And
with
she
that. I mean,
and
you hit
she
some
left her
valid points on that. You hit some
she
valid
had to
points, Rob.
she had to leave her post.
Yeah, well, like I say, everybody have to play a position, and when you leave your home, when she's a helpmate and she's trying to help, these are the effects of that. And I think the answer was right with what you were saying earlier when you were saying your dad was a gentle giant. I believe that that's what's missing is a structured home in order to get our kids back on the right page because they're so easily taken off page or off script because like we were talking earlier, they got access to YouTube and all these cameras and everybody's showing them the wrong things or just showing them things that you might not want your kids to see at that time. If your baby 5 or 6, you might not want them to see a love scene, whether it's heterosexual or not. You might not want your child to see somebody getting raped in a movie when they 12 or 13. It all depends on you knowing your child and having structure in your house. See, when you watch these type of movies with your mom and your dad, they see your responses. They can explain stuff to you, but it should always come from in the house. These sexual rules, I would say, or the code of conduct, how you carry yourself. My dad had a thing. He said, "Well, boy, I ain't raising no fairy," and he meant that, and that was just that. And it was certain things that I did. There were certain things that my sisters did. See, I didn't go in the kitchen. I couldn't go in there and cook. I had to go outside and cut the grass and do the job and help him with the roof and then pour concrete because I was a boy. In his mind, he was training me up to be a man because men were workers. Well, when they got to the point to where we got to pass by our women because we wasn't making enough money to support our families, we get removed from the house because normally we run out there and start trying to hustle and flip some and get caught up. Sometimes you don't even have to do nothing wrong and get caught up. The era that we came from, right before us, they just lock us up if they catch you. Our friendly catch you on the wrong road at the wrong time, your ass going to jail. And everybody know a friend like that or a story like that. And when they took us out of the household, that united family, not like one's more important than the other, but the rules are the rules. There are rules to engagement. The queen is the baddest piece on the chessboard, and everybody running around here playing checkers. We done allowed the narrative. The people have allowed the narrative to get changed to where now you feel a certain way. Oh, well, let's talk about it, and they'll tell you everything but what caused them to be that way. They'll tell you everything except who did it.
Yeah, and then it's a thing like, are you willing to pay the are you willing to pay the price to stand on what you want to stand on? And the question is, the price might be your life.
And that's real, and that's where I feel more people sacrifice, Pastor, on that aspect, because they're not willing to quit their job because they don't agree with what the job is doing as far as going against their beliefs.
Yeah,
And
to the
that's where I
household.
think a lot of people, right? And I agree with you on that. But here's the thing: some pastor said something earlier about not teaching us an entrepreneurial spirit. Well, I've always had that, and I've always been the one that said if where I'm working or who I'm dealing with does not fit the moral standards, that I will sacrifice the money you pay me. I will sacrifice whatever to go to where I feel like I'm going to be one appreciated and two I can do my morals. You know why? Because other races say, "Hey, I don't want to come to work on Saturday because I'm a 7 day Adventist," and they say, "Okay, great, we'll rearrange your schedule."
Or
Other
you know,
cultures. So when I say, from my standpoint and my point of view, is that we as blacks, as minorities, we don't get to stand on our morals because everyone else around us get to have their opinions. The
yeah,
minute
and let me
we
say this:
go ahead,
we don't stand on them because we don't stand on them. Let me tell you
and
what
that's
I
true.
mean. Let me tell you what I mean. When Christianity is the only, I call Christianity a way of life. Christianity is the only way of life or religion, quote unquote, that don't get respect in the workplace. Okay. Let me give you an example. That Muslims say I got to make Juma on Friday. Okay, Abdullah, we'll see you next week. If somebody, like you said, a 7 day evangelist, let somebody say I go to church on Sundays and I can't work overtime because I got to go to Bible study. They'll tell you you need to get another job. But because we don't live on it, because they see us, and I got to be crucial of us. When you're walk and talk, and when you're okay, let me say this. When you like a karate movie, y'all remember them karate movies where the mouth was moving late? When your audio and video don't line up, that's why you don't get no respect. When you say you something and they not seeing you walking in that on a normal day, they don't respect it. But if they like that, like I say, that guy that says he got to go to Juma on Friday or whatever, even during the day, he go to the bathroom or whatever and roll out that rug. He is not missing praying 5 times a day, no matter what he is doing. So we don't live on it on a daily basis. I feel like sometimes to get enough respect for when we try to exercise.
Well, what y'all saying? How we don't live on it? See, guys have to stand for something, or you fall for anything. And the reason we don't live on it, is stand on it, is because we are conditioned people, and we have been taught to do things a certain way. I'm talking about the African American. And ever since we've been in this country, all we've ever done is imitate the Caucasian. Every other race here has came on their own. We the only ones that was forced here. So the mindset of the Negro is a little bit different than just general public of people.
Absolutely,
So when we start saying, okay, well they don't respect us, they never did. Well they don't treat us right, they never did. So we have to make sure we understand how do we fix that by standing up for ourselves, standing up for our families. A man must provide and protect regardless. People point
exactly.
fingers and say what they want to say regardless. If this my family, I'm fighting for my family. If these my kids, we raising these kids. When you break the relationship up and change the rules, now everything is like a zoo. It's like a zebra standing over there with a leopard. One got stripes, the other got dots, but we don't know which. No, it is what it is. We know what's right and wrong, and the general public do, unless you got a mental problem. The general public
Right.
know you don't hit nobody because you don't like being hit. The general public know you don't, even at work, you don't go in the lunchroom and steal somebody's lunch. Cause you don't want nobody to go in anybody's box and steal your lunch. It ain't that you hungry
Absolutely,
and you got to have it. You know better shit than that. See, these are simple
absolutely,
things. These are simple things. In the same way with our relationship, whether it be with God, whether it be with each other, we know. Now, the only pushback that I would give is that we started with two people on this planet. The way I understand the story. Now we have 7 tribes, 7 churches, 7 continents, and we got all these different ethnic groups in the world and spread it. But the one thing that's real is they all pray to a God. They all talk to a God. So for me personally, as long as you're using that term God, you're all right with me. You don't have to pray the way I pray. You don't have to read the book I read. If you know it's a God, then pray. It's just like people of different cultures speak different languages. You can call him Jesus here, they can say Jesus. As long as you know it's a God. I'm all right with it
Yeah.
because I feel like your demeanor and your understanding to be more calmer to where I can ration with you. Now, a person that don't believe in God, it's hard to ration with them. When you got somebody trying to tell you things was heard and they can't explain, when you got people trying to tell you, oh, now, how you know
Hey,
it's a
my
God?
daddy said, my daddy used to say, it ain't no use of arguing with a brick wall. Why would you do it?
My daddy used to say, why you arguing with a crazy person? That nigga crazy. You know, he said, ain't no God. My daddy didn't go to church every Sunday, but he quick to tell you, hey, man, why you arguing with that nigga? That nigga crazy. Don't be listening to that. So we have to make sure the information that we intake and what you represent. See, my thing is everybody should represent themselves. Whatever you is, whatever you're doing, do you. See, I can't do rock because rock doing rock. I can't do Jason because Jason doing Jason. But you know who I can do? See, I can do top and be unapologetic. And when people say, well, I don't like you when you said this, well, I think you could have said that. Well, that's nice. That's what you thought. See, one person's vision might not be my vision. One person's goals might not be my goals. And
And
so
you know, I live by that. But
when
Top,
you
you know me,
align
I live
yourself
by
with
that.
certain people and certain energies, you know, you have people that hate on you and they be standing right next to you. You have people
Exactly.
that don't want you to succeed, but they swear that they do. So this is why you depend on yourself and you work with yourself. Work on yourself to be a better self. But you got to understand,
Yeah.
keep your grass cut low because the snakes in the yard. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people that say they with you, they just watching you. They not
Right.
with you. They just watching. They just watching you. And I think that we have to address an elephant in the room too. Lucifer got kicked out of heaven.
That part.
And the Bible says he took 1/3 of the angels with him. Now let's just take that 1/3. If somebody goes and take 1/3 of something, that means they have people working on their behalf as well, correct?
That's
Yes.
right.
So we're fighting not only against people that know right and don't want to do right, we're even fighting against people that purposely are out to do wrong. So and let me make this clear because I want to say this.
You can say a
I
lot. You
think
can say a
every
lot. To talk.
I think everybody needs to understand where they are. And what I mean where they are with how did you get where you are right now? Was it by mistake? Was it something you purposely done? But most of the time, we have escaped things that could have been detrimental to us, as far as incarceration, death, being strung out on a substance. So if God and God then brought some people back from the like almost from the living dead off the mat. I'm talking about and brought them back to prominence. So we are here for a reason. And I think that whatever created you owns you. That's just how I think. Unless they sell it. And we are created by the creator, so we are God's property. So everything we do, we should try to go into it with the intentions of doing right. That might not always happen. But if we go into it with the right intentions, usually it'll have the right outcome. Because even if it don't go right, you can say, "Hey, ma'am, sir, I apologize, but this is what I was trying to do." But if you go into with it wrong, you walk away from it because you expected that. So many times we see what's going on, but like I say, uh, you gonna stand on it and possibly be done like Maker Evers around here? Are you gonna stand on it? The thing about it is, when you stand on it, they gonna take everything from you. They gonna strip everything from you. So if you stand on it, you got to know this is the consequences. Now,
Right.
can, all three of us can say something that we know to be the truth. And we know as soon as we say it, they gonna be after our whole family. We know
Exactly.
that.
No doubt.
We
Yes.
know that. We
Yes.
know that. But are we willing to say, okay, baby, don't be surprised if somebody come up to you and say, "Are you Mrs. Rockmore?" and you don't know them because I didn't see. We and I think that's the protection of the man too. Sometimes man wants to go out there, but he has created this family and people that he protects, and he know, oh, I can stand on mine. But what about when my wife coming out of Walmart and I ain't with her? See, and that's things. I think sometimes that don't hold us back, but they know. See, this is the
That we're
thing.
not gonna. They know that we
This
need the job. They know that we
right,
need these things.
but
Yes.
if sometime we reacted instead of acted, it'll be different. Say you say something and they come up to your house and they start showing you pictures of your kids and all that. Okay, what if we go up under the bed and pull out the envelope and start showing them pictures of their kids? And like, okay, who gonna move first? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We when they throw the fear toward us, we have no counteraction to protect ourselves, so we just stop.
Absolutely.
You yeah, because it's a lot of people of ebony hue, a lot of Hispanics, a lot of people have been stifled because they come after them in certain ways. But tonight, if we want to stand on the principles of what's right, it's God, man, woman, child. Now,
Right.
whoever want to argue with that, come on, man.
You can't really argue with it. See, and to piggyback on your point, truth is truth, even if they don't believe it and they want to go around it. And we have to understand some things as far as where we at and how do we solve it. In order to solve it, it has to be addressed individually, the man in the mirror. And it's one, you got to get your household together, then the next household together. Then when we come out as a community, we functioning together. We got to put the households back together because no one is holding these kids accountable, and everybody's letting the parents slide. Oh, it's okay. Y'all out and heard it out. That boy be all right. Or she gonna grow out of that. Or she just a tomboy. We gotta fix the problem in house. Cause see,
They'll
that's
let
where it
you. They'll let
starts.
right.
That's where it
Yeah, you're
starts
right.
in house. And from
You,
each house, we have to put the mail back in there. We have to put the love back in there. Mama shouldn't work, but sometimes she have to work. We got to figure out a way to get back on point to where monetarily, oh, well, now I don't have to make $5,000 a month. All we need is X, Y, and Z. It was a time in my life when I was talking about moving to the country, just down there on that property and getting something put up, having me some watermelon patches and coming back and forth to Dallas
that's
and
what I
this
was just
shit.
saying. If
Coming,
we grow our own food, that cut half of the grocery bill.
right.
See,
Well,
as long as we clown or they think we clowns, they'll let us go along. But the minute they figure out, okay, we know something. All right,
yeah. But see,
everybody
you
heard of
said,
UGK.
yeah, but you said stand on it, and they wipe you out. See, the thing is they've been wiping us out. It's like it shouldn't be a fear of death. And I understand when you're saying my wife in Walmart. Well, wifey know who she with. Now, do we make the decision to be 100? Because we covered in Christ, it don't matter when we go. As long as I'm doing the right thing, it don't matter to me. I work at a school
Right,
in the neighborhood where I was raised, homie, and a lot of times the kids will say stuff, and then the other teachers be like, "Hey, you gonna report that? You gonna do that?" No, I ain't reporting that. That his threats don't mean nothing to me. If I die trying to help some kids in South Dallas right now, then that's what God meant for me to die at. Because he
man.
done brought me
Listen,
through a lot. He done took me through a lot. I say it every week. Jesus got me spoiled. If I died working in Lincoln High School, then that's where I was supposed to die at, y'all. So that fear of death doesn't bother me if I'm standing on God. As long as it's God, see, no matter
right,
how another person feel or what another person might say, I'm standing with God, even if that's standing against my family, because it's certain things I don't tolerate. And right now, Jason, but it hurts the family. It hurts the
right.
perception of, you know. And
And
that's
that's
the sad part, because I love everybody in my family. I just don't support some of their actions.
right. And then that's what I mean. Like when you stand with God, you stand on it. And like I say, my wife know who she's married, and of course your wife know who she's married. And when you stand on it, they knew what it was before they said I do. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people don't stand on it because of what they quote unquote have it going on. See, people can think you crazy or think you just a clown. But when you let them know you know something, then the whole thing changes. UGK Pimp C, everybody thought Pimp C was a clown. Pimp C made a song one time, said, I just look like this. I done read Beheld a Pale Horse, 48 Laws of Power. At the end of the song, he said, I got a library on my brain. Okay, they'll let Public Enemy and Flavor Flav clown and all that. But when we start really listening to Chuck, they like,
Yeah,
hold on a minute.
yeah.
They listening now. See, when people think you a clown and you be all of this, but when they realize you really know something, things change. And what I mean by that is, think about this. We used even in music, we used to love to hear somebody kick some knowledge. When I
Right.
mean in hip hop. But then when Kane roll up on old boy and steal his Dayton's in the drive-through of Mensa Society, he said, we supposed to be brothers. He said, what, you trying to kick some knowledge? Man, give me your ring. Give me your, I mean, so it's like
Well,
the
it's like,
narrative was pushed.
Well, it's like this here, Rock. That's one of the reasons why we created Nostalgic Radio, is because the era of music changed around 2000, to where what you were saying. You jacking the plug, you telling it on your parents, y'all killing each other over nothing. It was a time when rappers actually kicked knowledge, and we wanted them to kick knowledge, and they got props for kicking knowledge. We had a whole era where it was self destruction and uh, X Clan, and I mean, it was just everybody was spitting something knowledgeable. Then when the narrative was changed, then Latifah went from Queen Latifah to the Equalizer, where decisions were made. And that's why we created this station for to good vibes, to make people feel good, and to bring back love songs, songs of substance, songs about something, songs that people can actually relate to and not be mad. Because I won't say the youngsters don't relate to what they're saying. I just think it's generation deaf. They don't appreciate life. There is no respect, like we've been saying through the whole show. How do you put respect back in a child? You got to teach a child respect when they get between 2 and 8. Jason know I say this on every show. Between 2 and 8, mom and dad need to be tapping that ass. And I'm talking about whooping him when he do something wrong. I don't mean beat him just cause he broke a glass. But when he
so I
do
want to.
certain things, he should be recommended with that hand, that belt on his butt. Now, when you
So I
do
want.
that from 2 to 8, you don't have to whoop your kids when they're 9, 10, and 13. You don't have you give them a certain look, because you don't put that structure in them of right and wrong. Then when you want to sit down and talk, they talk. My dad had one rule: don't lie to me. He didn't give a shit what was. Don't you lie to me. You can tell everybody else out there whatever you want to tell them. When I ask you a question, you better not lie to me. So he stood on that, and the reason he always told me that was because you can't help a lie. But if you tell me the truth, then I can tell you how we're gonna have to deal with the situation. And
And
that's where we at with this. Yeah.
And Top, that's where I feel like we are with this generation. But then you also got the powers to be that's stepping in, telling parents they can't be parents. I had a
Yeah, but
conversation today.
brother,
Listen, let
here's
me
the thing,
finish.
Jay.
Let me
Here's the
finish.
thing.
Hold on, let me finish what I'm saying so you can understand where I'm coming from. I had a parent today tell me that they, in certain states, their kid, once they turn a certain age, you can't even have access to your kid's medical records. The kid has to reflect them. At what point does a 12-year-old has the mindset to tell you what they are and what they need? So, but if they get sick, if they skip school, if they don't do what they're supposed to do, you are held responsible as a parent. But you just took my rights away by telling my kid that they have a say in stuff that are what we used to call adult business.
But the thing about it is, what you're saying is true. But again, like I was saying earlier, because something's a law, don't make it right. And if the government can tell you anything, and if you go for it, you go for it, dog. But them your kids and they your responsibility. So you gonna let the government raise them, or you gonna raise them? Are you gonna stay in
Absolutely.
the what? Do you stay somewhere where you having a family and you don't believe that you're gonna be able to nurture and raise your family right? As a man, you need to move where you can do whatever you think you need to do for your family. We shouldn't be bound to say, oh man, they passed a law say well, you can't whoop your kids or they can't pray in school. Well, we pray every day. You understand? My kids get out of line, I'm tapping their ass. CPS can come get them and take care of them. I come visit them. You understand? But I meant what I said. You're not gonna do this and you're not gonna do that. It's fine to say, oh well, the government said we can't whoop our kids, but they'll lock their ass up. They'll
In a
kill them for
minute.
not following instructions. They'll shoot them down for no reason, but we can't teach them respect. And the way that you have to deal with a little boy at a certain age, you don't have to beat him. He just have to think you might beat him.
Hey, I said that. I was like, I said, hey, the way I was raised, I feared my mom and my dad because when I was 2, they showed me what that felt like. It wasn't abuse. Well, my mom was abused. I'm gonna tell you that now. My dad was just like, hey, you man up. But my mom was abused. My dad just made our asses
Yeah,
raw.
yeah. I think my mama killed me about 3 times.
Yeah, like 3, 4 times. That was abuse.
Yeah, I think I died about 4 times. Yeah,
She should have been locked
Hey,
up.
y'all around. Get
yeah.
up off T.
I
Jones,
remember.
man.
Yeah, I remember one time. I know she killed me. But but the thing about it is, all what y'all saying is powerful, powerful points, and we ought to be able to come together as men and pool resources together. And when we say resources, that don't necessarily have to be money. Say if you got resources, if you got a barbecue pit, that's a resource. If you got a place where that's a resource. We got to pull our resources together and say, okay, we're not going to agree on everything, but what can we all agree on, and what can we do? Now, it's like this. Okay, I'm from Highland Hills in Dallas, top from South Dallas, and Highland Hills is actually in Oak Cliff, but I'm from Highland Hills. But what's wrong with every people getting together and say, man, you know what? We gonna get in our car Friday night and ride over to the hood and just make sure ain't nothing going on. Why we can't police it ourselves? Why we can't be an entity that they know, hey man, 2 or 3 dudes coming through, man, and they don't be playing no game. They ain't tripping, man, but you got to be they real about it. And what happens is, once again, we get caught up in financial gain or territorial situations and things of that nature. And then what happens too is this: when you get everybody together, you know everybody done been through something. And if we getting together on this one common cause, no matter what's said about the next person, how we gonna let that stop the mission we on?
Right.
Everybody got a past. I don't care about your past. We coming together on one common cause to try to make something happen. If you're not being detrimental to this cause that we are doing, why we can't make it happen?
Well, let me
Absolutely.
answer. Let me answer something. You said why we can't police it and all that. You know, it was a time when the Bloods and Crips was created for something just like that, to protect our community, to come together. You know, but we didn't allow that to be twisted. Again, following a narrative that was never ours, trying to achieve a goal, running behind a carrot that we'll never reach. You know, no matter how far we go, they keep moving the goalposts. You know what I mean? First, we couldn't do this. Now you can't name nothing that a black man ain't done except be free. And when I say free, a free man don't pay taxes. How long are we gonna pay taxes for the same property? It's like the IRS was set up illegally. If whenever we can get free, then you can do something. And I think is we got to make sure we put the structure back in our families to where they are equal. It's not like one is more important than the other. Those children go through different phases of life. They need their mom at certain points, and they need a dad at certain points. They need both, the yin and the yang. That's why it takes two to make them. It takes two to raise them. Now it takes a village to make them successful, because you can raise your kids and they be good kids, and we know this. Good people die every day. Bad things happen to good people every day. And it almost seemed like all our partners and family members that died young, they be the good ones. They be the ones that didn't bother nobody, was always quiet, da, 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 da. Or at least those are the ones you remember the most. You know what I mean?
Guys,
Because
I hate to break this short, but we got to pay some bills. I ain't paid a commercial this whole time because the conversation's been good. But guys, we got to pay some bills today.
all right, and I need to change the subject because I wanted to ask him about something else. And Tamika's show looked good.
But yeah, we're still live, guys. I'm just pulling up what we need.
Okay. And y'all, we have to make sure that we stay rooted, like you said, right? What are you gonna stand on? And if you're gonna stand on it, are you willing to die for it? See, my thing is people die every day, so they killing us. We killing us. They killing us. So the death part don't bother me. What bothers me is living wrong. What bothers me is dying and going to hell. What bothers me is not telling my kids, my wife and kids the truth. If you're doing
Right.
something, I'm gonna tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Y'all,
gonna
but
let you know.
we about to go to commercial now. Thanks for that, Top.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Dad. This is our maker's moment, and we make it remarkable.
It starts with good conversation. Music, strictly the classics. Dress code, fabulous.
Can I kick it? Can I kick
Best enjoyed in peace and quiet. This is my maker's moment, and I make it remarkable.
After dark, when it gets dark, we have barbershops off. See, I'll say anything. And my partner told me, he said, man, address the elephant in the room. And that's what I always do. You know what I'm saying? Like 100, every time.
We about to go live, guys.
All right.
We're back.
Oh, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Man, we done had a good discussion. I actually done went over my little old time. I'm going to put a twist on it. I'm going to bring in another subject and talk about it for a minute. But I want y'all to understand I'm only talking about it because it's relevant news. It's in the news. If it wasn't relevant, I wouldn't be talking about it. But right now they got all of the media circuits, all of the outlets flooded with the P. Diddy stuff, the Diddler. So now that everybody's saying that Hollywood is worried of who he gonna snitch at. Some they got saying he's a snitch and he was an informant. You got Jaguar Wright. She been talking about him for at least 5 to 7 years about him and Jay-Z and they underdoing. You got Wendy Williams talking about how Diddy done her when she had pictures and proof of some infidelities and stuff he didn't want out. But I think what kind of stirred the pot was when everybody saw the Cassidy video in the hotel. Because up until that point, it was just he say, she say. And Diddy he don't look like he tough. He don't look like shit. So when you look at him, you don't see somebody that you think got hands or he gonna squabble with you. He look like what we just talked about, a phenomenal soft kind of dude. He in the videos dancing and doing his thing. We grew up in the era real niggas didn't dance. We'd be on the wall, we bob our heads, we have our shades on, walk up to the bar, snatch what we gonna snatch. Right now, the boy is going through so much drama. He offered $48 million home and his private jet and all this. And he trying to make bond, got denied twice. They holding him in Brooklyn in what they call one of the worst facilities that you can hold a person in. They talk about people dying there every year and people constantly having incidents there and the living conditions, you know. And I really don't care to hear the problem or see a problem because when he was violating them kids, wasn't nobody saying nothing. My only problem with all of it is, did nobody see him with them kids?
Well,
All
it
the
ain't that.
people that's
But
on
the
the
thing about it
papers,
though is like what you said about the girls that R. Kelly had. It wasn't that they didn't see him with him, like what we just said, bro. It comes down to the money.
yep, I'm with you, but I
Didn't
said
nobody
that.
put-
I
But
said
what
that to say this. I
okay.
said that to say this. All of those people that saw that, come here.
Yeah, I got you. But when it comes down to the fame that they wanted, when they wanted their kids to be wealthy, when Usher and them were spending the night at his house, Justin Bieber was spending the night at his house, it was about the fame. Their parents sold them out. Their people
Right.
sold him out. And that you can't blame that on. I mean, he may be who he is, but you can't blame all that on him when your parents are selling you. Like the little boy. There's a little boy who was doing a movie. He went to his parents and told his parents that the director of the movie was molesting him. And his parents went there and the guy gave them $2 million. And the kid ended up taking his parents to jail, to court, to get away from them because he was like, "You literally are selling me." That kid has
Well,
not
you
been in
know,
another movie, has not been in another movie, has not been in another anything. So when parents look at that, if you're in a bad situation, that's what I was saying on our earlier conversation, is we put ourselves in what Pastor was saying. We Nobody stands on their morals anymore. The kids are
right.
up for sale. The house is up for sale. Everything that in the black community is up for sale because we're tired of being broke and we're tired of being poor. So we're willing to sell and sacrifice anything and anybody to get out of that situation, which
No
helps
doubt.
their agenda.
No doubt, no doubt. They had movies out back in the game where people walk up to you and he offer you money to sleep with your wife, and you let him because you and your wife need that money. So I mean, it's always been about the money. But the morals and the perspective is, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
And
And now
that's what I'm saying.
you have
What
you
Pastor
have to
said is
make the
true.
decision though. You have to make the decision.
But
It's
if
not like
you
it's all on P. Diddy. P. Diddy's ass is the one in jail. P. Diddy's ass is the one that they busted. P. Diddy's ass is the one that's manipulating shit. P. Diddy is the one that's supplying the drugs. P. Diddy is the one that's saying Spike this, do this. P. Diddy is the ringleader. Now, how many people will he bring down with him? I don't know because they calling out everybody's name, and at some point, just because you went to the party don't mean you went to the big back room. Oh, you went in that room. You know what I'm saying? Y'all done been to parties before, big old nice crib. You ain't been through all the crib, but you went in the kitchen and got something to eat. Was out there by the pool, got you some drink, poured you a girl, might have smashed her, might have left. So who all is gonna be implemented? And I do believe he might be a sacrificial lamb if they got all the evidence.
At
Unless
the
he
end of
got
the
some more
day,
stuff.
all they're trying to hope when they're pushing these buttons, let me tell you what I know about the music business, the things that I've seen from just what I do, and I've done a lot, is what's going to come out isn't going to be the names may come out, they may talk about it, but it's not going to be nothing to hold nobody accountable. It's not going to
Okay.
be nothing to put nobody else behind bars.
Okay.
Because here's
So they
what it
ain't
is.
gonna. Yeah,
As
that's
long
what
as
I
Diddy,
think.
as long as Diddy holds that part silent, then he still gets to play with the elite people.
Well, here's the thing. He facing 3 life sentences, and that's not even on all his charges. Now
I,
the man 54, he 54 years old. 25, he gonna in the minimum he can get is 15 years. That's if
I,
convicted. Now he ain't been
I
convicted
can
of that. These are
almost
charges.
guarantee you he won't see a day.
You think he gonna walk out of this?
He's not even going to see a day. The reason R.
You
Kelly got
think he
sacrificed,
gonna walk out of this?
hey, the reason why R. Kelly got sacrificed is for those two to stay above water. And you know who two I'm talking about.
Now I'm gonna tell you this.
It's
I
the reason
believe he done.
why
I
Jay
don't
Z got
think.
rid of the Best of Both World albums.
Hey, I
You
don't
can't
think
go
we
find
gonna
it
ever
out.
see him. I don't think we gonna ever see him again in the free world.
I hear you. It sounds great, but I doubt it. Because honestly, here's what the whole key to this whole thing is. Regardless of whatever he did, the prosecution side of it is they can't really go after him because everything that they're claiming he did that is prosecutable, because no kids are on that list. You know that, right? No kids are on that list as far as what they're prosecuting. The only thing that's on that list are all consenting adults who
Well,
came
you
to
know
the
the drug. So racketeering and drug trafficking with
all are
minors.
adults. There's no
Okay.
kids on that list. So you can keep saying that point, but you
No, no,
gotta
no, no. That's a point that they saying. I'm just repeating it.
yeah, but there's no kids on that list. On
You saw the list, and you know. Okay,
what the
that's
prosecution
what they
read off,
saying.
what the list is there, everybody at the parties were consenting adults. Now the racketeering, the shipping of drugs over state lines, that's what they're hoping to hold their case on. So yeah, they're gonna tell you, oh, he's facing this, but that's just like saying, hey, I was facing felony case for 20 years on what I just beat. But guess what I ended up with? 18 months probation.
Well, I know. I just know when the feds come knock on your door, they got a 99 point some conviction rate, and they not
If
playing with him. And
and
this is
I
why
would
they took
agree
their
with you.
time.
I would
This is why
agree
they
with
took
you.
their time. This is why they
I
took
would
their
agree.
time arresting
I
him.
would agree.
This is why
I
they
would
took their
agree with
time
you.
coming gathering information. And now you got critical witnesses, people coming out. And I just don't think the brother gonna get out of this.
I would agree with you if it was anybody that was from a poor neighborhood. Then I would say, "Yep, he gone." I
Brooklyn
would
ain't a
agree
poor
with you.
neighborhood.
I would agree with you if it was anybody who was coming from a background of not having secrets on the most powerful people in the world. I would agree with you if they had the tapes that he had to expose them and everybody else who played in this ring. I would agree with you if we wasn't talking about if we were talking about anybody else on this table that was not Jay-Z or P. Diddy.
Well, I just know in the end, in this country, that's what's wrong, right? That philosophy you're using, that African American philosophy, that we gonna get an even shake out of this. They ain't never
I'm
should
not
even. They
I'm
locked
not
Bill
saying.
Cosby ass up for giving the girl some pills 30 years ago.
And
P.
how
Diddy
many
ass
and
finna
how
get the
many
business,
and
dog.
how many
He finna
times
get
did Tilda
if
and
he
Bill
was
Cosby
messing
got
with them
no?
kids, if he
And,
not getting away if he was messing with
all right.
kids. If it's
And
any proof of him messing with kids, he's not gonna
see,
get
you
away.
keep saying that, but that's not on the docket.
Yeah, that's one of the charges. Messing with minors is one of the charges.
Is not on one of the prosecutable dockets. I'm telling you right now. Go look at the prosecutor stated that it is something they looked into, but is not on the prosecutable docket.
What you think, Rob?
Uh, I think I need to jump in the cab with chocolate tie on this one. It's a lot of people being affected by what one person has done. And I never looked into the charges and who's all on there, but one thing might could be detrimental to him. G Unit Productions is putting out something called Surviving Diddy. Have y'all heard about that?
Yep, it's already out.
Okay, it's on Apple TV or something. So see when that Surviving R. Kelly came out and you heard people just going through it and making him this monster of an individual, I feel like a lot of people lives have been changed, but it all comes down to wanting to be famous or wanting to be put on or and all of that. And it's just amazing to me. This is what I think, this to answer the question direct. I think if anybody done anything wrong and illegal to anybody and force something on them, I think they should do time because I think that's a crime. But when like Brother Dixon is saying, if you have adults that consented to taking this and doing this and it's on tape, they might be more embarrassed by the tape more than them being guilty of a crime, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Cause y'all know Kevin Liles resigned a week ago.
Hey, 300 executives
Right.
Left all the labels. 300 top tier executives. The day
Right.
Diddy
So
got arrested.
yeah, right. So I feel like if they can now see like the Cassie situation so out of control, but all this thing that's being accused of, if somebody says he's done this or whatever, they got him. And it's something else they can get him on, and a lot of people don't think about this. They can piggyback on that Jennifer Lopez club shooting
The
and put that
Shine.
on him.
Yes.
Yeah,
They can still
yeah,
put Shine's case on him. Yes.
right. They can backdoor him with that because
If he
now a lot.
goes if he goes down and top, I'm not saying that he won't, that he probably can't do time. But if you look at the whole case and you go through the whole atmosphere thing, a lot of those people were consenting adults. The only one that makes a big difference in this case is the producer, Rod, whatever his name is because he ultimately states that he was drugged. But at the point of time when he was drugged, he never went to the hospital. He never filed a police report. He never. What's helped Cassie was the fact that she had that videotape. Rod's case is strictly off of his words and his mouth. They don't have the tapes. They don't have any proof. So they had to. When you said they took their time, they took their time when they raided those homes. They were really looking for those tapes.
And I mean, like I say, anybody that's found guilty of such things and they find guilt, I think they should do the time for the crime they committed.
Yes.
And for them to make this a big issue and not letting them out and all that, I think it's this relies on what evidence they trying to draw. But we look at what we see and be like, okay, give it to him. And I'm from that rule of thought. If he wrong, give it to him. And anybody who else wrong, give it to him. But like you saying, let's identify the crimes and what they are so he can really get the time that he deserves for the crime and whoever committed crime. So I don't know what they looking at or what they saying on the tapes, but he's been accused of some things that the normal person, you just don't see them no more.
Right.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with what y'all saying. I just feel like, you know, as far as the time, they every time the system gets a chance to break a rich African American, they break him. And right now, the Feds got control of all this money because he
But
fed properly.
but
And
Tom,
they
but
saying they
Tom,
saying
Tom,
he used his
Tom,
organization to
Tom.
influence all these people. Hold on. Now
Okay,
y'all talking
go ahead.
about grown people consent.
Go ahead. Go
That's
ahead.
not that's not even an issue. A grown person having sex with another grown person is not an issue. That's not what they talking about. They talking about him drugging people and forcing himself on people and this trafficking of kids and buying and selling. That's what got people all up in a rap. I don't think nobody cares that he was banging Meek Mill.
Tom, go
I
show me
think it
where
was
they're talking
I
about
think it was
trafficking and
funny. They
selling the
grown.
kids.
But
Top,
they grown.
that was not it. They're talking about trafficking, and when they talk about trafficking, they're talking about moving prostitutes over federal lines. There are no kids in that. Go get the facts. I'm talking straight facts.
I don't look
There's
at the
no,
facts.
there's no kids. He's talking on that document. It says trafficking, drugs,
You talking
all
about
stuff.
one document and one video. Watch some more videos because I seen
No,
one
I
that
watched
said
the. I
trafficking
read the.
kids.
Go look at.
I'm
Go
paying
Google.
attention and Googling too.
Not the.
I'm
Not
just
the.
looking
I
at
don't.
reporting the news as I get it.
I'm
Now,
just
I don't
looking
know if
at.
he done none of it. I don't
I'm
know if he
just.
done none of
My
it.
thing
But
is.
I'm not
What,
the one saying that. And I'm going to repeat it because I believe it. See,
okay,
that's
I
what
got
I
you,
saw.
and
No,
that's
that's
what
what
I'm.
I saw. Now,
Okay,
you
and I'm not
repeat,
taking
you
away from
repeat
what you
what
believe.
you saw.
All
So
I'm
I
saying is
understand that point of view. But
the
he in
document.
trouble, and the feds don't play, Jason. The feds don't
You can,
show up and knock on your door with
and I
Homeland
got you on
Security
that. But how many
just to
people have
play.
walked
He's
away
not
from?
gonna walk away from
How
this.
many
Bill
times did
Cosby
R. Kelly
couldn't.
walk away from it when they knocked on his door? They didn't get him the first time, did they? He was doing the same shit the first time they took him into a Chicago court, didn't he? R. Kelly got away for decades. If we're gonna
Right.
talk about it, let's be real. The feds don't scare what these people do because most of them have people in the feds and on high political platforms that understand if you get caught, just don't toss me out. I'll make sure I get you the best deal. Money
Okay.
runs this world, bro. R.
Okay.
Kelly got away the first time. How come they didn't give him the 30 years the first time? But what did they do the second time? They went back and pulled up all those cases and added them to the docket, which what got him
Okay.
locked up now. Why couldn't you get him the first time? Because they wasn't done with him. They needed him to make
Okay.
more music. They needed him to do more stuff. They saw their
Okay.
money was running out.
Okay.
So I'm
I can
not going
understand that.
against
No, I can
the
understand
feds.
that. I can
What I'm
understand that
going
point of
against
view.
is don't take it as black and white because the law has never been black and white. What happened in our neighborhood doesn't necessarily happen when you say I'm a billionaire.
Yeah, true to the point on that.
Epstein survived for years throwing parties with little boys on his island. How come they waited till 30 years later to arrest him? Because he was about ready to die.
So you think that you thinking that the white crime was the same as the black crime?
No, it was probably worse. You
Well,
think
you were
it's
saying
really
why? You were saying
why?
why? I was just asking. I put that in. You said why
Oh,
Epstein got
I'm
away,
saying,
and you
I'm
putting
saying
Diddy there. I just
because
never
at the end of the
compare rich
day,
niggas to
they,
rich white folks.
but you can when they run in the same circles. I'm not
You gonna
saying money
still be a
wise.
nigga in the end. You still gonna
I
be a nigga in
hey,
the end.
and I guess I just don't look at it from that point because I look at it as the law is the law, regardless of what you do. It's a reason why these people are allowed to walk the way they walk. Only the people that gets killed early are the people who stand up and be like, "Hey, I'm done playing the game." Because first, what did they
Okay.
do? First, they started liquidating Diddy's funds. First, they
Yeah.
started saying, hey, when they went after him to sell Bad Boy, he told them, no, I'm not selling Bad Boy. They went after him to sell Ciroc. He said, no, I'm not selling Ciroc. They went after him to sell his clothing line. They went after him to stop to be part of who he was so they can gain access to him. When he said no, well, how do you come down? How do you take somebody down that's got more stuff on you than anybody in
Okay.
the and that's the biggest argument. He has more
Okay.
on everybody in the industry than anybody does.
Okay. Well, that's the tale that they say that he got something on everybody. And so if that's the case, then that's how the system works. I ain't never seen him like that or thought of him like that because I don't know the man. But if that's the case, then it can work out for him. But just for me personally, we don't get the same treatment they get, like you said, but you think his money is gonna get him treated the same way. So we'll
Hey,
see, because it didn't
like
work
I
for Bill
said,
Cosby and
like
OJ. It didn't
hey,
work for them when they got caught up.
Bill Cosby only did 1 year and he was out.
Wait, hold on. It didn't work for O. You said it didn't work for OJ.
Yeah,
OJ escaped a murder.
right. But when they come back and get him for that little old paraphernalia shit, what they do? They gave
That
him
was
all that time.
but that was makeup. That was because we couldn't really
Yeah,
get
but
you
but
till
but
we
look
got
when they
it
caught him. They caught him at the end. They were just a makeup
same
punishment
way,
to me.
same way that I just said about R. Kelly. They couldn't take him down because the powers that be said, no, we still got to make money off this man. But what did they
Okay.
do in the end?
Well, it's all about the money. So we just got to see. I don't
We
have
got
no
two.
definite nothing as
We
far
got
as
two
like
minutes
what
left,
I know.
Pop.
I just when I'm hearing all these different scenarios, and you know me, I'm the Google king, so I'm checking it out. And Jaguar Wright is one of my main little stops. Rock turned me on to her a few years back, and she been on it for a minute. But I just check them out and hear what they saying. And one thing I believe, and this don't make it law neither. But if you get a bunch of people and they keep saying the same thing about you, then it's probably true. If everybody's saying the same thing about you, but the key to law is, can you prove it? Because when you got consenting adults, it don't matter if I got 2,000 bottles of baby oil. If they said yeah, then it was yeah. It's kind of like when Cat
Yeah,
Williams, some of the things that started the argument, they can use against him. When he say, P. Diddy love the party, you just got to tell him no. Well, that means everybody know. So now if you going to the party, that's because you with that. So what you saying? That's a consenting adult. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I don't personally think that that's what they about, what they looking at. But I don't know. When Homeland Security come with the feds, it feel like time to me, Jason.
Hey, and it's because you've been trained on your level, on the level that we are, as people who don't rock with billionaires, that don't go sit down with senators, that don't go have the connections. That hey, but when you playing around where I play with, like my investors, the people I play with, I understand how money walks. I understand that every judge on the bench ain't an honest judge. I understand how everybody plays a game when there's something there that somebody's holding leverage over you.
For that video doing the wrong thing is definitely leverage. If you catch somebody in an uncompromising position and they people of power or influential people in the public or out in society, whether they be ex-presidents, senators, lawyers, pastors, or even movie stars that, we look at, we put them on a pedestal because they make us feel good, entertainment. When if you got leverage, now you're twerking with something.
Hey,
But
it's time,
if he
Todd.
got,
It's time. Go ahead and wrap up.
okay, well, if they got the leverage on him, they gonna give him the business. How many minutes do I have?
We're done. It's 7.
Okay, y'all. I'd like to thank my partner, Mr. Rockmore, and we gonna bring him back and chop it up some more. Y'all know Jason Dixon, and this is Mr. 214 with Dallas After Dark every Tuesday night. Y'all stay blessed, cause y'all know Jesus got me spoiled. Lonnie B and Late George, boy, and I'll see y'all next time.